Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Thanks for joining us. My name is Marcelo Bellinazzo, and I'm part of the AWS marketing team here in Seattle. I'm very pleased to host this webinar today, where you get to hear from AWS and Datapipe, one of our advanced consulting partners, who will be able to share with you their experiences deploying and managing Oracle software on the AWS cloud. I'd like to start with some housekeeping items. The duration of the webinar is going to be about 1 hour maximum. All lines are mute, and we'll have time for Q&A at the end of the session today. During the webinar, you can submit your questions by using the Q&A dialog box in your browser. This webinar is being recorded, and you are going to receive a link for the recording after the session. You can always visit the AWS channels on YouTube and SlideShare for webinar replays and slide decks. Our agenda for today's sessions start with Bruce Burns, Senior Alliance Manager at AWS. Bruce will give you an overview of the AWS platform with emphasis on how to effectively run and license Oracle software on AWS. Next up is Bill Dolan, Vice President of Business Development at DataPipe. Bill will present the top DataPipes Oracle solutions on AWS. And next up is Rob Brunner, Senior Solutions Architect at DataPipe, who will do a technical deep dive on DataPipes Oracle solutions for AWS. Without further ado, I will turn over to Bruce. Bruce, the floor is yours.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here today. One of the questions that we typically get is, how did Amazon.com get into the cloud computing business to begin with? Most people associate us with being a bookseller or the world's largest e-tailer. And how the story goes is, as we've built up this technology and the innovations that were necessary in order to grow Amazon.com, we learned a lot about the computing business. As Amazon expanded its product offerings for retail customers, the company also expanded customer segments. In over a decade of building and running a highly scalable web application, that being Amazon.com, the company realized that it had developed a core competency in operating these massively scalable technology, this infrastructure from data centers, and embarked on a much larger mission of serving a new customer segment. These are developers and businesses. With this platform to provide web services. These services can be used to build sophisticated, scalable applications on a global scale. So in 2006, we launched Amazon Web Services and officially began offering businesses and developers access to the web by providing these web-scale computing services based on Amazon's own back-end technology infrastructure from the cloud. AWS gives any developer the keys to this infrastructure, which they can use to build their own businesses. This makes it possible for any business to reach the scale of major internet players like Amazon.com, but without the expense of building and maintaining such a reliable, secure, and scalable infrastructure. Jeff Bezos is the founder and CEO of Amazon, and he has a quote that says that it's not the customer's job to invent for themselves. It's our job to invent on their behalf. We need to listen to customers. We need to invent on their behalf. Kindle, EC2 would not have been developed if it were not this inventive culture, if it was not native to Amazon. So it is in our DNA. You know, building and running on-premise infrastructure is expensive and costly. And businesses of all sizes need business apps, though, in order to run, business apps from Oracle, from other partners. And they need to implement new ideas, streamline existing businesses, drive sales, increase productivity. But behind each of these business applications, there's a sea of complexity and costs. Business apps need servers, storage, data space, power, bandwidth, networking, cooling, etc. They also need development, testing, quality assurance, production, and failover environments. It's easy to see why even the largest companies with the best IT departments face significant challenges to get the business applications they need up and running consistently. Now, the reality is that buying and managing on-premise infrastructure to run business apps is costly and complex. It's very common for business users to wait months for new physical servers to be ordered and delivered. Meanwhile, IT is busy managing the purchasing process, negotiating contracts, discussing support options, etc. And when the servers do arrive, IT still has a lot of heavy lifting to do before they're ready to run a business app. They need to find the data center space, install the software stack, set it up, configure, optimize settings, etc. And when the applications are finally deployed, IT has to manage the new environment, managing uptime, applying patches, scaling up or down, etc. So it's no surprise that most organizations spend a large portion of their IT budget just keeping the lights on. In fact, Gartner estimates that the average IT department spends 80% of its time and resources just managing existing systems. This means that there's very little left over for IT to drive innovation and to respond quickly to business needs. Cloud computing is a better way to run the business. The cloud helps companies of all sizes become more agile. Instead of running applications on servers you own, run, and maintain yourself, you run them on the cloud where IT infrastructure is offered as a service like a utility. Those servers look and feel to an administrator exactly like servers that are on-premise. However, they're offered from the cloud where we do the back-end maintenance. With the cloud, your company saves money. There are no upfront capital expenses as you don't have to buy hardware for your projects. And the massive scale and fast pace of innovation of the cloud drives the cost down for you. In the cloud, you pay for only what you use, just like electricity. In fact, we're seeing customers turn off their ERP systems in the evening when they're not in use. And then in the morning, when employees come back in, they turn it back on again, nearly halving the cost of running those servers. It shows some of the agility and innovations that's happening in this space. The cloud can also help your company save time and improve agility because it's faster to get started. You can build new environments in minutes as you don't need to wait for new servers to arrive. And the elastic nature of the cloud makes it easy to scale up and down as needed. At the beginning of the day, you have more resources left for innovation, which allows you to focus on projects that really impact the business, like building and deploying more apps. Customers are thinking twice before buying their next server. Cloud computing is the way forward, and this is something that we're hearing time and time again from our customers. Adoption of our service with AWS has been very strong. According to the 451 group, which is a consultant group, AWS is the market leader in the infrastructure as a service business. Gartner has also recently released their first Magic Quadrant covering this space, with AWS scored as the leader in the top right-hand sector. We have hundreds of thousands of customers now in 190 countries, and this includes everything from startups to Fortune 500s that are running their businesses now on AWS using this cloud infrastructure. Typically, customers will come in because they'd like to save time and money, but what we find is that in the end, what keeps them on AWS is the agility and the flexibility that the platform offers. Now, we've done a lot of work on AWS. This is a graph showing since 2007 the services, major services that we've launched and announced through to the beginning of this year. And what we're doing is AWS, the platform, has grown rapidly since we've launched. And one of the reasons we believe companies are adopting AWS and our services so quickly is because of this rapid innovation. And this innovation is driven by customer feedback. We're constantly listening to customers and then building on new features and services that customers need on AWS. And if you look back at AWS launches over the years, you'll notice how fast this innovation is happening. Amazon Web Services is steadily expanding our global infrastructure to help customers achieve lower latency and higher throughput. At the end of the day, speed of light becomes an issue, typically if you have to span multiple continents. As our customers grow their businesses, AWS will continue to provide infrastructure that meets their global requirements. You can see we have infrastructure now throughout the globe. These are data centers that are located. Each of these data centers have multiple availability zones, meaning that within the same geographic area, each of these data centers will have multiple data centers that are connected with high bandwidth connectivity, such that if a failure in one availability zone will not adversely impact the other availability zones. Security has been a key driver for the web, and what we have heard from customers, it's a common thing that customers will ask about. And in the beginning, it is something that they're afraid will be a blocker, but by the time they look at it, what they will find is that it's actually a driver for the cloud. In examining AWS, you'll see the same security isolations are employed as would be found in traditional data centers. These include physical data center security, separation of the network, isolation of server hardware, isolation of storage. AWS customers have control over their data, and they own that data, not us. We manage up through to the hypervisor. Customers own the operating system all the way up through applications and data. They can encrypt their data at rest or in motion, just as they would in their own data center. Amazon Web Services provides the same familiar approaches to security that companies have been using for decades. Importantly, it does this while also allowing the flexibility and low cost of cloud computing. Now, there's nothing inherently at odds about providing on-demand infrastructure with also providing the security isolations that companies have become accustomed to in their existing privately owned environments. AWS is a secure, durable technology platform with industry-recognized certificates and audits. PCI DSS Level 1, ISO 27001, FISMA Moderate, HIPAA, SOC 1, which was SAS 70. We spend the time and the energy to get these certifications and audits done independently. And for an individual company trying to hire in the security experts and then go through all the audits that show this level of compliance would be cost prohibitive. But because we can share those costs across across hundreds of thousands of customers, we can provide a highest level of security available. Our services and data centers have multiple layers of operational and physical security designed to protect and integrated in safety of your data. You can learn more about security by visiting aws.amazon.com/security. That's our security center. And there you'll see details about certifications and status. Physical security. Amazon has for many years experience in designing, constructing, and operating large-scale data centers. AWS infrastructure is housed in Amazon-controlled data centers throughout the world. Only those within Amazon who have a legitimate business need to have such information know the actual location of these data centers, and the data centers themselves are secured in a variety of physical barriers are installed to prevent unauthorized access. Each of these services within the AWS cloud is architected to be secure, and a number of capabilities that restrict unauthorized access is used without sacrificing the flexibility that customers demand. AWS enables users to encrypt their personal or business data within the AWS cloud and publishes backup and redundancy procedures for services so that customers can gain greater understanding of how their data flows within AWS. In essence, the security system of AWS's platform has been added to our existing security systems. We now have a secure posture consistent with that of a multi-billion-dollar company. This is a quote from Jim Warren. He's the CIO of Recovery, Accountability, and Transparency Board, the RATB federal agency that is on AWS. Another way to look at it is what are the security experts saying about cloud security? And they have weighed in on this. The Central Intelligence Agency recently told software vendors that it plans to revolutionize the way it does business with them as part of a race to keep up with the blazing pace of technology and advances. Big data is a driver. Think Amazon, the CIA said, while speaking of their metered pay-as-you-go approach. So both CIA and the NSA are supporters of this, and I think that speaks volumes. One of the questions we get is on scale, how large is AWS? And a couple of the dimensions that we're able to share is how much we actually store. So quarterly we'll report on how much S3, that's our storage service, stores. And you can see the growth of that storage since its launch. Where now, last quarter, we just passed now 1 trillion objects that are stored in S3. That equals 142 objects for every man, woman, and child on Earth. So it's a massive amount of data. These are the videos that you watch. These are records that you use. These are all sorts of data that's stored in this highly secure, very durable storage system that provides 11 nines of durability over time. Each day, another way of thinking about the scale of AWS is the size of the infrastructure, how many servers we provide. And each day, AWS adds as much server infrastructure as Amazon.com had in total when it was nearly a $3 billion company back in 2000. Every day we add that. So this service is growing quite rapidly. Okay. So the question is, what type of apps are customers running on AWS? AWS powers hundreds of thousands of businesses in 190 countries around the world. Large enterprises are using AWS for multiple use cases. For example, running enterprise applications such as Oracle, eBusiness Suite, JD Edwards, Oracle middleware, Fusion middleware, Oracle databases, but also software from other companies such as IBM, Microsoft, SAP, and others. They're creating custom business applications to support the needs of internal functions such as HR, finance, and sales, so it's very easy to rapidly create then LOB apps on AWS. They're also developing customer-facing web apps that power e-commerce, mobile, gaming, social media. Big data has been a huge driver as well. So getting all the instrumentation information from all sorts of devices that are now connected on the web, being able to put it into S3, our storage system, and then being able to use MapReduce. We're seeing huge workloads in medical imaging, genome sequencing, web analytics, business analytics happening on AWS. And then disaster recovery, being able to back up on-site instances of Oracle software into AWS and be able to either restore back on-premise or actually run from the cloud in event of an emergency is a common use case that we're seeing. So for 17 years, Amazon has been a customer of Oracle, and we have been a good customer of Oracle. As a matter of fact, we've pushed Oracle and their products to be able to provide new features so that it would power Amazon.com. So our relationship with Oracle starts, I think, as first as a customer. When we launched AWS in 2006, 2007 timeframe, Oracle was one of the very first customers, one of the very first partners to announce support for AWS. And at that time, they announced support for their database and Fusion middleware products. And then 2 years ago, in 2010 now, Oracle also then expanded the support of AWS to include Oracle Enterprise applications. So eBusiness Suite, PeopleSoft, Hyperion are all supported and certified on AWS. In general, the entire software stack that runs, that we know as Oracle software today, is certified and supported on AWS. And we have many, many customers that are running and enjoying the agility and cost savings of the cloud with the productivity of Oracle software. One of the features that we are not able to support up until our relationship with DataPipe is the ability to provide RAC. So shared disk support has been one of the limitations that we've seen with AWS. And through partners such as DataPipe, we're now able to address that, and we'll learn more about that shortly. Another service that customers have requested is managed services for Oracle. And how can AWS manage their Oracle instances? We do supply a service called RDS for Oracle, which is a management service for a relational database management service for Oracle databases. However, we don't support the entire Oracle stack, and there's been many requests to have managed applications or managed infrastructure middleware databases that we can't support, and through DataPipe, we're now able to do so, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in a moment. There is a catalog now that we provide of Oracle-provided AMIs. Those are Amazon Machine Images. And we list that catalog on the AWS site. So customers can now quickly find one of these virtual machine images, select it, and run this for multiple Oracle applications. On the licensing front, all Oracle software licenses are fully portable to Amazon Web Services, to EC2, our compute servers. We provide flexibility. We support the licensing model for a wide variety of software. And there's a URL at the bottom that provides direct Oracle information on their cloud licensing policies. But in essence, all ELAs, ULAs are supported, as well as new licensing models that are by user by month, called BPO licensing, is supported on AWS as well. And then partners can use the licenses that they acquire through the Oracle Partner Network on AWS in order to do demonstrations through productions on AWS. The way that the licensing works is we have a multiplier. So if you have a four processor virtual machine on AWS, that would be one license that would be required for standard editions of Oracle software. And it would be two licenses that would be required if it's the enterprise edition. So for every 4 processors, it's either 1 or 2 licenses. So that's a nice policy that saves customers money and makes it very easy to deploy on AWS. Using Oracle on AWS is very straightforward. Create an account. If you already have an Amazon account, you're already there. Log into the AWS Web Console, select a list of Oracle machine images, and you can hit launch. And instantly you get a vanilla instance of that software up and running. You right-click on that instance, and you can either SSH in if it's a Linux server or RDP in if it's a Windows server. And once you're into that instance, it looks and feels just like the server that's down the hall. It has the exact same feel. Now, we've had requests from customers to make it even easier to deploy. And so we've worked with partners now to create a new program called the Oracle Test Drive Program. And the goal of the program is to take advantage of the speed and flexibility that you can deploy Oracle software on the cloud. eBusiness Suite can be provisioned on AWS in 10 minutes. And we've shown that. In 10 minutes, you can be up and running from a cold stop to a warm launch within 10 minutes. So we thought, hey, let's work with the partners to actually demonstrate this. So we've created a series of test drive labs to be able to show customers in real time how to spin up an instance of say, eBusiness Suite, to be able to log into that Oracle application and actually go through a test drive. There's no cost that's involved, and it's very easy to do. What it allows customers now to do is to actually try Oracle products in real time without even having to have an AWS account. The way we're doing this is through the aws.amazon.com/Oracle site. At the bottom of that site, you'll see a link called Test Drive, or you can just Google Oracle Test Drive AWS, and it will take you right there. And what you'll see is a series of test drives for backing up Oracle databases, Fusion middleware, and applications such as PeopleSoft and eBusiness Suite is what we have today. we're working with multiple partners, and more of these products will come online to enable you to actually test Oracle software on AWS without any charge, cost, or obligation. And in 45 minutes, you'll have it. You'll go through this lab, and you'll see the functionality and experience it firsthand. So that's exciting stuff for us. All right. So although we have great support for Oracle software from a licensing, from a business, from a technology perspective, as I mentioned before, there are a couple areas where customers are requesting enhanced services such as RAC and managed services, and that's where partners such as DataPipe come in. So what I'd like to do now is introduce Bill Doylan. He's a Vice President of Business Development at DataPipe. Bill?
Thanks, Bruce. So thanks for everyone attending today. Just want to tell you a little overview of DataPipe, who we are, and how we work with Amazon. We've been providing Oracle, fully managed Oracle solutions for close to 10 years now, and have been working directly with Amazon for about 2 years now as a trusted partner. So we are an advanced consulting partner in the Amazon Partner Network and also a preferred Amazon reseller. So when you come to DataPipe, you can get a single provider solution for all of your managed Oracle on Amazon solutions, and what we'll delve into as well, which is extremely unique right now, a fully managed single provider solution for Oracle RAC with Amazon as well. So what DataPipe's really been known for quite some time is really our customer service. We have world-class facilities, but our teams are really where we shine primarily, and we have extremely sticky enterprise clients that have been with us for years and years and years. So, we've won customer service awards like the Stevie Awards and the American Business Award for customer service. We have managed mission-critical solutions for clients for many, many years, and help them with governance, change control, things like that. So we can custom build an enterprise-ready solution, help you architect that, test it, document it, and then manage it on an ongoing basis. So, these are all experienced professionals. It's a team-based approach that will help you and your team again, architect a solution and manage it on a daily basis. So, we've received recently recognition from people on organizations like Gartner as far as managed hosting and infrastructure on Amazon. With regards to our Oracle expertise, DataPipe's an Oracle Gold partner, and we have extensive certifications, as you can see there. Years and years of experience. Our teams have members that have, taught Oracle at universities like Purdue, et cetera. So I think you'll find our teams extremely easy to work with and extremely knowledgeable and experienced. So what we're talking about today is specific to our offering, Oracle as a service, we call it, providing high-performance solutions for deploying managed Oracle database environments and RAC clusters seamlessly integrated with AWS. So the three unique offerings that we have, the first one is a fully managed Oracle solution deployed entirely on AWS. Again, it's a team-based approach with an Oracle DBA on your team. That's all included. We also have our DataPipe managed Oracle RAC Solutions, where the Oracle RAC part of the solution lives in a DataPipe world-class N+N facility with direct connect into the Amazon environment. So the web and the app tier live in the Amazon AWS environment, and the database tier lives in the DataPipe environment. And we'll delve into that, the specifics of that as well, but it's a low latency, extremely high performance solution, and that's fully managed by DataPipe. The third solution, there are some enterprise organizations that have robust Oracle teams and for one reason or another do not want us to manage the solution but just need the infrastructure and need us to support as needed, and that we have flexibility there. So it depends on how you and your organization want us to work with you. So the first offering is the managed Oracle solution deployed exclusively on AWS. So what we would do is we always help you architect and deploy and manage your database solution hosted on AWS, with DataPipe managing the environment, including installs, patches, upgrades, backups, everything like that, and to, again, help you with governance and change management. We also have robust management tools to facilitate your data protection, security, and your restore operations as well. So where is this a fit? This is a fit for pre-production environments, dev tests, training, things like that, as well as full production environments deployed on EC2. Well, we're getting a lot of interest currently because it is an extremely unique offering right now in the marketplace, and Amazon has even said that this helps make their offering even better, is our Direct Connect fully managed Oracle RAC Solutions. So with this solution, there's an integration between the web and the app tiers running on AWS and high-performance databases, very high IOPS solutions running at DataPipe. And this is facilitated, of course, through the Direct Connect offering from Amazon into our data center facilities. In the U.S., these solutions are less than 3 milliseconds as far as latency, as well as London into the Ireland region as well. So DataPipe's in-house technical expertise helps cover you as far as all layers of this build. We're seeing this as a fit with a lot of enterprise production workloads, and they require low latency and extremely high performance, high IOPS, and making sure that this, of course, is a high availability RAC solution. So some of the benefits of these solutions, first and foremost, is the low latency, the redundant connection that we have between Amazon and DataPipe networks. So we have multiple 10 gig direct connections with Amazon. We provide seamless integration between AWS hosted solutions and DataPipe environments with this hybrid configuration. High I/O is key for most of these solutions. These are mission-critical solutions for most of our enterprise clients. And again, we manage all the aspects of the integrated hybrid environments. This is, as I said earlier, we're extremely flexible. The way we work with one organization might be very different than the way we work with another. And we establish that early in our relationship. So, we're proficient in all aspects of Oracle's advanced security option, from encrypted table spaces to TCPS. Redundancy at the host, network, and storage layer reduces node downtime as well. Our network has been, pointed to by organizations like Netcraft many times. We're either the #1 best performing network or definitely in the top 10 almost every single month. One of the other key benefits too to this is that, much like your Amazon spend on the database side of things, there's no Capex. So we're providing a service with a monthly fee and no Capex. And as you know, with Oracle solutions, they can get pricey. So as far as Capex is concerned, so that's good to know. We augment and extend extra SLA, response times SLAs, hardware SLAs, things like that to the Amazon SLAs as well. We provide single provider, single vendor billing. So you'll get one invoice as a reseller for Amazon. You'll be spending the same exact spend you were with Amazon, but you'll just get one invoice from DataPipe for your total solution. So we have many comprehensive managed services offerings in addition to Oracle. So it's important to know too that we can grow with you should you have other solutions other than Oracle. A lot of times our clients take advantage of both our managed AWS and the OracleasaService Direct Connect solutions, and just get that one invoice, net 30 terms, and we can a lot of times be extremely flexible with how we work with organizations. Sometimes they have use it or lose it budgets and things like that. We can be extremely flexible with not only the technology, architecture, et cetera, but also with the business relationship as well. So we have best practices for rolling maintenance. This includes required OS and database patches, things like that for RAC clusters to process transactions during maintenance windows. And you can grow your database storage on demand just like you could on just the Oracle Amazon solution as well. So this helps your DataPipes and infrastructure and Oracle software configuration. This allows for no downtime expansions in the existing database volumes. So where are these services currently available? The Oracle managed Oracle solution on Amazon, obviously, we can manage those solutions anywhere in any Amazon region globally. Currently, our Direct Connect Oracle RAC service offering is available in Silicon Valley, the Northern California region, in Northern Virginia region, as well as in our London facility into the Ireland region as well. Okay, I'm going to pass it over right now to my colleague Rob Brunner, who's our Senior Cloud Architect. He's going to talk specifically to deployments and technical details of these solutions. Rob?
Thank you, Bill. So what I'm going to speak on today is, as Bill mentioned, the deployment and client engagement process, as well as some technical details. We're going to begin by looking at an actual diagram of a Direct Connect DataPipe hosted RAC solution. So essentially, as Bill mentioned, what we have here is a direct connect into Amazon's AWS network. As you'll see, a typical solution is highly available and fully redundant from the switch layer all the way down to the Oracle hosts and all the way down to the SAN. Every component of this architecture is meant to be fully scalable. So as your computing needs expand and grow, what we will do is introduce additional RAC nodes into the cluster, or as your storage needs increase, what we'll do is actually on the fly we can increase the size of your data LUNs or other storage LUNs. A little bit about the deployment and engagement process. It's a very consultative approach. What we do is we meet with customers and discuss both technical and business requirements, map those out, take a look and iterate, make sense of certain strategies and ideas to perhaps maximize cost benefits. Additionally, what we will also do is determine workload and appropriate platform. As Bill mentioned, we have deployment models on straight EC2 as well as within DataPipes data centers that have the direct connect to Amazon's network. From a technical perspective, we have all the Oracle RAC solutions are fully clustered. As we mentioned previously, the databases will be integrated on native AWS EC2 platforms where appropriate. We also have some predefined configuration examples that we can use as a starting point for any conversation as we go through scoping. Additionally, custom configurations are available upon request. In fact, most customer needs are fairly unique, so typically we follow this path into creating a custom configuration specifically for their use cases. Each deployment will include a minimum of a single firewall, but most typically a pair of high availability firewalls. Those are often used as VPN endpoints for any required connected systems, as well as creating individual VPN accounts for users that may need to log in and interact with the systems through SSH or tune and make changes to configuration parameters on the Oracle platform itself. As mentioned previously, the storage for each RAC solution is SAN-based storage. It's scalable. We have tiered storage options, so depending on the I/O requirements of the workload, we can pair those correctly with the appropriate tier of storage and storage characteristics. Again, it's fully scalable. We find that most customers start with a minimum of 100 gigs of disk space and scale up from there. Additionally, we'll make sure that we're performing database dumps so that should you ever need to restore data, we'll have that data available. A typical retention period is 7 days, but we have custom retention periods well beyond the 7-day period if and when necessary. So just wanted to thank everybody for attending. We will have a Q&A portion. Additionally, the focus of this conversation was primarily around Oracle, but however, DataPipe does have offerings around MS SQL, MySQL, and other applications that you may want to deploy on AWS. If you're interested in discussing any Oracle-based solutions or solutions mentioned on the other platforms, you'll see contact information for Bill Dolan, and we can certainly be happy to have those conversations. And I will pass it back to Marcelo.
Okay, thank you, Rob, and thank you to all presenters. So now we're going to take a few questions from the audience. If you haven't done so, please submit your questions now. We'll start with a few questions that were submitted during the presentations. And I think the first one here is really for Bill. And the question is around customization. If the solutions that were presented today can be customized, and what are the limitations DataPipe will help architect and manage around those solutions?
Sure. We do have some small, medium, large kind of parallels for to speak in the vernacular of Amazon customers already that are recommended. But especially when we get into enterprise, most of these clients really need quite a bit of customization. So what would happen is we would have one of our chief cloud architects, someone like Rob Brunner, and one of our Oracle DBA leads. Actually, we spend a lot of time with clients helping architect an appropriate solution. So they're absolutely all customized, and there really aren't many limitations as to what we can provide for clients. Sometimes it depends on licensing costs and things like that, but on our side there aren't many limitations. So engage us early, even before you're a client, and I think we provide a lot of value prior to us actually billing you for anything.
Excellent, thanks, Bill. The next question, I think it's really for Bruce, and it's around RDS. Actually, we got a couple of questions. You mentioned Amazon RDS for Oracle. Could you explain a little more about this offer and what type of services are included in the offer and how customers can leverage their existing licenses and all sorts of things around running Oracle applications and solutions on Amazon RDS?
Yes, okay. RDS for Oracle is one of the services that AWS does provide. The RDS for Oracle service provides an instance of the Oracle database running for customers to be able to use, and we manage that instance, patches, etc. There are several limitations customers need to be aware of, and that is that it will not support Oracle applications on top of. So, for example, eBusiness Suite or any of the higher level Oracle applications are not supported today. However, for in-house applications that you're developing on your own, it may be a good fit. The licensing model works in two ways. Either you bring your own license for the service, or we can provide an hourly license for Oracle database through RDS for Oracle.
Excellent. Thanks, Bruce. The next question, I think either Bill or Bruce could take it, and it's around moving mission-critical applications to the AWS cloud. And it sounds like you guys have a lot of experience helping customers think about this process and actually helping them move and managing their application. So how to get started? How traditional customer that's running enterprise or mission-critical applications should start thinking about incorporating cloud computing or even planning their initial migration to the cloud?
That's a great question. I'll say a few things first, and Bill may want to add on. Typically, there's a couple different approaches you can take. In a production critical app, such as an ERP app, a CRM app, there'll be multiple instances. It's not that you just have one rack of servers running ERP. There'll be one for production. There'll be a second one for development, developing new apps for that ERP system. There'll be a third rack that would be used for test. Once you've developed it, you want to test it, you want to test patches. There's typically a fourth rack and a fifth rack used for training and in-house POCs, a sixth rack that's used for business intelligence. Some customers have up to, for each instance of a critical app, they may have 9 different servers, sets of servers running parallel software in order to support it. So one way of being able to use AWS is look at those, look at all those production and pre-production versions of those apps. And when you need to be able to update that server hardware, maybe you're updating from Itanium, or maybe you're updating from an old 3 or 4 year old server rack. That's the time to say, okay, let's take this, for example, this pre-production a POC rack, or this dev and test environment, and let's start using that on AWS. You can do it in parallel to start. You can move over and get accustomed to it, and then transition over. We've had multiple customers take this approach very successfully. Some customers have actually started with that approach of saying, okay, we're going to implement a new application, and then the early dev and test and POC work on AWS with full intent of actually doing the production on premise. But what they found was that the cost savings and the flexibility, it's really the flexibility of being able to scale up and down the server sizes, allowed them to decide just to keep the production on AWS. Now, another way of being able to try the cloud with a critical application is to be able to just do backup. Oracle has something called the OSB module, Oracle Secure Backup Module for the cloud. And what that allows you to do is take any Oracle database, whether it be running an ERP app or just a database or anywhere in between, take an Oracle database and back it up. Rather than to tape, you back it up into S3, our storage service. And what that provides is the backup to S3 is about twice as fast as going to tape. It's about half the cost of storing on tape, and it is 10 nines more durable than tape, because on S3 it is persisted in multiple locations for you. So you save time, you save money, and it's much more, doing restores is much easier because it is online, it's faster, and it's always there. So that's another way of being able to do it, being able to do backups. And by the way, once your data is up there in S3 as a backup, it's easy to spin up a disaster recovery instance in the EC2 and use that backup data such that you have a failover site now, such that if a disaster should happen, you can now have a cold or a warm or a hot failover site where you can now switch over production workloads using products such as DataGuard or Golden Gate from Oracle. So I hope that helps.
Absolutely. I don't know, Bill or Rob, if you want to chime in, feel free.
Sure. On the DataPipe side, I mean, typically, we love all of the Amazon utility. However, some clients also need that manpower and that team-based approach to help them and guide them with that process. So typically what we do is, we'll sit down with clients and put together a plan, an actual migration plan. So again, we'll help architect. We'll put forth, the project manager that's your DataPipe project manager and team will put forth a plan with the client team to how we can architect this, start the migration process, make sure that it's the least impactful to the enterprise client that we're working with on their side. I'll let Rob speak to any technical obstacles and things like that, but from a business perspective, we try to make this as seamless and as low impact for our clients, because we know migrations can be painful and scary scenarios.
Yes, Bill, and just to simply add to that, typically, what we do is collaboratively with clients, we do a level of application profiling, and tend to, for the first applications that a client is looking to move to a cloud, we choose really some low-hanging fruit ones that are easiest. As Bruce touched on, maybe it's something like taking your backups of your Oracle RAC or your Oracle solution and hosting them on S3 storage. As competencies grow around AWS Cloud, we then work with various application teams on the stage process and the cutover aspects of migrating these applications over.
Okay, thank you guys. And I believe that wraps up today's presentation. Thank you everyone for attending today's webinar, and thank you for our presenters for delivering this content. I'd like to remind everyone that we're going to send a follow-up email with a link for this recorded presentation. And on behalf of Amazon Web Services and our presenters, thank you for joining us for today's session. Have a great day.